Breakfast, arguably one of the most important meals throughout the day. Now, breakfast can range from being just eggs to being toast to being avocado toast, which is one of my favorites. Um, or it could just be a cup of coffee. But it is one of the most important meals throughout the day for various reasons. Being it gives you energy, it boosts your cognitive abilities, and you maintain good health. So, on that point, breakfast just gives you energy. You know, in this case, we're considering energy to be glucose, carbohydrates, and that energy is typically stored in the body as fat. Now, most of the energy we consume is stored as fat and then burned later on throughout the day. The glucose is then converted to glycogen, and the liver breaks that down according to BetterHealth.com, and it just restores your metabolism. It allows your body to burn more fat, more carbs, and allowing your energy intake to be maintained at a steady pace and not reduced or overly filled up. Adding to that, once you're asleep, your body tends to just use up the nutrients that you have in your body. And when you wake up, you feel sluggish, tired, and just worn out. And by eating breakfast, according to harrisonschool.edu, you can replenish those nutrients by eating a well suited breakfast. Now, a well suited breakfast is different for everybody, but don't tend to overeat or don't undereat. Everybody has their set amount. But by eating a good breakfast, you feel more productive and you're just happier. And it allows you to start the day off right. Coming out to my second point, it boosts your cognitive abilities. Breakfast not only helps you in providing energy, but it boosts your cognitive abilities to a better extent than those who didn't eat breakfast. And one of those abilities is concentration. You know, breakfast allows it to happen by keeping your blood levels at a steady pace. Low levels affect your health, which we're going to be discussing at a later time during this presentation. But it also affects your brain. You lose gradual amount of mental functions including your conscious, your motivation. It's a big part of mental health, and your impulse reactions, etc. And according to a study done by Harvard, not only is too low of blood sugar levels bad for you, but also having too high of blood sugar is also bad for you. Being that the insulin resistance in your body just disrupts all the pathways of the blood flow from your body to your brain, allowing it to not respond the way you want it to. And, it doesn't only affect your concentration, but it affects your memory as well. Now, we rarely pay attention to these things because we don't notice them. They're one of those things we take for granted, and in a study done in 2012 by the British Journal of Nutrition, it tested people in two groups, those who ate breakfast and those who didn't. I don't really know the specifics since I didn't really look into them that much, but those who ate breakfast had a better memory retention rate than those who didn't, which is an interesting fact. Now, breakfast in all reality is very good for your health. Now, how does it affect your health? Or why does it affect your health? Well, not really a study, but according to BetterHealth.com, people who eat breakfast have a lower chance of getting diabetes, of being obese, of having any cardiovascular, like related situations. And in an article written by Elizabeth Pratt on Healthline.com, it says that there was research done about cardiovascular related deaths and a correlation to eating breakfast, which, odd enough, is pretty odd. But there were two groups, same as last time, those who ate breakfast and those who didn't. And so, out of those two groups, the first group, the ones who didn't eat breakfast, out of 336 people, 41 died. Second group, out of 3,862 people, 415 died. Now, they did mention the percentages, and that's a 1.5% difference in the amount of deaths. You know, it's a pretty, you could say it's not a big difference, but it is a big difference, if that makes sense. Now, keep in mind, these deaths did not occur to any research. The research was done after. But it just proves to show if eating breakfast helps you be healthier, why just not eat breakfast? Now, in addition to that, people who eat breakfast, as stated in the first point, tend to burn more fat. So that goes back to the obesity thing that I just talked about a few seconds ago. And the reality is, people who eat breakfast have more fat to burn off. And those who don't eat breakfast, they're storing fat. So people who eat breakfast tend to weigh less than those who don't. But, when it's all said and done, breakfast is an excellent way to start the morning. In other words, it just improves your health. It keeps your blood sugars or your blood sugar levels at a steady pace or rate, and it allows your brain to perform more effectively. So why wouldn't you eat breakfast? I would recommend, well, in my opinion, I would recommend eggs. Eggs with a cup of coffee and some toast. But, breakfast is certainly the first and most important meal of the day. Might as well start the day off right.